Why did you save me? I was created by him.
Every hero has a weakness.
But the ritual was activated because of me.
There's still time.
We have until the sun is completely eclipsed. But how are you going to enter the building? The entrance is...
Where there's a will, right?
What's up, everybody? This is RadTechShu, and I am bringing you part 14 of my Devil May Cry 2 LP. So right off the bat, we're going to start the mission, head over here, interact with the door, and get a secret room. Now, I don't know if you may have noticed on the title screen, at the mission select screen where we can choose to either power up or start the mission. But the figure in the background that we saw, I didn't notice him at first when I first played the game. But we're going to run into an old nemesis. And I must say, when it first happened, when I first played this game, I was not expecting it. I was very surprised, and I was thoroughly ecstatic. I was just like, oh man, this is so awesome. I get to fight you again. So, it's a boss battle that I actually do love. And the boss battle strategy does change slightly than how I originally fought him. However, I'll point out how the small differences, and we still make quick, short work of our enemy. Once we get there, he'll be the boss at the end of this mission. Go ahead and gather everything up once all the goats are dead. Now, once we get outside, you may notice something about the environment we're in, about the mission level that we're in. This is where we did mission 3, and down here is part of mission 1. As a matter of fact, this entire area that we're going through in this mission is actually reused from mission 3 and 1 combined. So what we're doing here is we're going through the same areas we used to go through. However, we now have a new goal in mind. We need to attack 4 orbs and activate them. We need to trigger them, and some will be hidden in the air, some will be on the ground, but we need to activate all 4 of them in order to progress to the end of the mission. And what we'll be doing every time we attack these orbs is we'll be unlocking more of the underworld's power, and you'll see it in the cinematic. So the first orb we have to attack is up here on top of these buildings. So we're going to jump up here, and there it is floating in the air. Now you can do this either with Devil Trigger, but I prefer just to save my Devil Trigger. You can either do downward slashes, or you can do the aerial combo that Dante has. But once activated, alright, as you saw by the little exposition during the cinematic, we have to activate 3 more. So go ahead over here, grab the orbs. Some blood abyss goats and some Aganafanis will spawn on the main street, but I'm just going to bypass them. There's no need to fight them. They're not worth the time or effort. This is somewhat of a long mission, as it's 2 older missions combined. So down here, we're going to fight a bunch of Gubusun Sira as well as Jamothum Sira. And these guys you can afford to stop and fight with. Like I said, you don't have to if you don't want to. These enemies are totally optional. It's just they're a lot easier to deal with than the Abyss Goats. Later on in a different mission, I will start playing around with a different gun, and I will show. It's actually pretty fun how I deal with the Abyss Goats, because if you notice, it takes a few sword slashes to stun them. But once I start using a certain weapon on them, it becomes so much more fun. Now that all those guys are mopped up with, head down the street, jump over up into this area where we got our first key at the end of the first mission. Or towards the end of the first mission, rather. We got some Jamothum Sira in here, as well as some Brontomancers. So these guys, like I said, pretty weak. There's a lot of them though. Well, we came in here because the second orb we need to activate is in here. So once we go ahead and finish off all these guys, we will go ahead and activate the orb. And it's right over there in the corner, as you can see. So I'm just trying to kill these guys, maintain a high showtime ranking. But as you can see, some of the enemies took a while to teleport in, and my ranking was lost. So right here I just decided to use double trigger just to finish these guys off now that I lost my ranking. And one thing like I said, I may have stated this earlier, but I'm not a big fan of Dante's double trigger ranged attack, the lightning that he uses. I understand he can use all the cores and stuff like that to augment his double trigger attacks, like fire and electricity, and we'll get one later for ice. But I don't like the fact that it looks just like Dante's submachine gun attack. His double trigger air raid attack, if that's what you call it, the double trigger range attack he does, it looks just like his submachine guns firing. It even goes through the same animation, I believe. So I'm just not a big fan of it. I miss the older air raid. Anyway, go ahead and attack this redhead statue to get as many orbs as you can. Then continue this way. We're going to be at an area where we jumped the ramp at the end of Mission 4. We're over here now, where there was also a blue orb fragment. But first we gotta take out some savage golems and some demon chorus before we can attack that orb. There's quite a few savage golems. The demon chorus don't really give you too much of a headache. And the submachine gun does help deal with them pretty easily. I especially like the death cry they make whenever I hit them. But the savage golems, they take a long time to die, and then they try and scurry away from you. I'm not a big fan of it. But pretty much just keep up the aggression, finish off the savage golems and demon chorus, and then attack the orb, and then you will head down the main street. And you will be back to where we initially started the mission. Like I said, we're about to loop all the way around 360 back to where we started, back to where we first went into the secret mission, and then we'll take an alternate path, and we'll be heading towards the end of the mission. Okay, so down this street, we're going to fight more Organophenies, but I'm not actually going to fight them. I'm just going to run by them. There's no point in battling them. I've got more than enough red orbs in this mission. I don't need any more. So we're just going to bypass them, and there's the God of Time statue at the beginning, and we're going to go this way. We have a red orb off in the distance and a blue orb fragment off in the distance, so we're going to keep the aerial heart equipped, jump up here, and go get it. And once we reach the ground, it's a big Mancer family reunion. We got Oromancers, Brontomancers, and Pyromancers. Their entire family's here, and we're gonna have to kill every single one of them. So just keep up the pressure, like I said, and eventually they'll all go down. They're not too tough. They just like to sit there and let you pummel them. And once all of them are dealt with, we're going to attack the 4th orb floating high in the sky. So down here, we got the last of the red orbs. And now up there, we're just going to double jump up and just continue attacking it. And then when it's done, we can go through the door to our left. Alright, so before we attack the center eyeball, we're going to go grab a red orb over here. There's green orbs laying around if you need them for the fight. But attack the center eyeball when you're ready, and we'll say hi to an old friend. Oh shit, it's Phantom! When I was first playing this game and this happened, I was so surprised and I was like, oh my god, it's a boss that I actually love! So Phantom handles pretty similar to how he did in the first game. However, right there when he's flinching, he's not invulnerable like he was in the first game. You couldn't hit him when he was like that in the first game. Here you can hit him all you want, even when he's flinching, and he'll take the damage. So what I do is whenever he's about to hit me, I just double trigger, keep up the pressure, and right here I'm out of double trigger, so I take a few hits. But you just keep up the pressure, attack him in the face, you know, pick your spots well, double trigger when necessary, and you can finish him off really quickly and send him straight back to the depths of the underworld for a second time. Goodbye, my old nemesis. It was nice seeing you again. Alright, so that was a fun battle. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even this time around, it's one of the highlights of this game. Not that there's many to choose from, but it is one of the strong points that this game has, that I get to, you know, hang out with a blast from the past. So we're going to go ahead and save, and I will see you all in the next mission. Take care.